Hi there, guys. Hope everyone's good. I'm literally, as any of you that have visited my channel before, maybe can tell that I'm literally just making this video up off the top of my head, pretty much. Well, actually, that's a lie, because I did just make a few notes that I wanted to say on it, but it's something that I'm going to be as candid as possible in this video. And I never actually thought I would be putting a video like this on this account, as I say, my intent was for music purposes, not for Mandela effect purposes or conspiracy theories or anything like that. But since I've found out about the Mandela effect, it's pretty much taken over my life. I literally just had a big argument about 10 minutes ago with some family members about the Mandela effect. They're saying it's changed me as a person. And one of the family members is quite religious, Christian, reads the Bible, and is saying that she was warned about this in the Bible, and that I could be being deceived and brainwashed by YouTube and things like that. And I'm glad I've got this platform of YouTube to express myself, because it's such an odd subject that I guess people don't really want to talk about it. It's almost like people just want to brush over it. So yeah, I'll try not to ramble too much, do it in every video, but I uploaded a video earlier which was just about connecting the dots with this Mandela effect stuff, as in, why all these signs? Is there a link to them? Could there be someone leaving us like breadcrumbs or something to that effect? And I've had a couple of people just mention that we should write down similarities of people on the comments section on one of my videos, just to see if there are any similarities of the people, any character traits, any significant events that have happened in their life, like why only certain people can see this Mandela effect, what's actually going on, and others evidently can't. For me, this has taken a massive toll. I feel actually knackered today, exhausted, energy drained. This Mandela effect has massively taken its toll on me, in more ways than I would have even imagined. I mean, I've looked into other conspiracy theories, 9/11 and whatnot. I've drawn my own conclusions on that. But this, I think, is very, very personal. It's almost I feel like an attack on my sanity to a certain degree, where you've got your own family members basically saying that you're a lunatic because of it. I'm just so glad, again, that there are other people that see this, because otherwise... Anyway, I'll just get to the points that I've made, just to see if anyone else has any of these. There's someone on one of the videos that has had very, very similar things to me, which has got me thinking maybe it is to do with the actual... Maybe there is something about the actual people themselves that can see this Mandela effect as for what it is. So I'm gonna... I never even thought I'd talk about these kind of things in a video, but this is a very, very, very personal video that I'm making here. To be honest, I'm not even sure if I should be making this, because it's very, very personal. I think there's probably people that don't even know some of this stuff about me, that maybe think they know me or whatnot. But let me just get on with the bullet points anyway. So the first one I've had, so when I was younger, I used to see ghosts. I've seen about 8 different ghosts. I've felt presences of entities, ghosts, whatever you want to call them, many a time. I felt that they've been in a room with me or watching me at certain times. I've had very, very odd experiences with that. Again, that's for a different video. I don't want to elaborate on that. That's not really this isn't a ghost video or anything. This is about Mandela effect. But that's just something that I've had, that there's not really anyone I've spoken to that has seen ghosts. Many people like skeptical about it. And again, in society, when you say things like that, you kind of lose credibility somewhat. Again, like this Mandela effect. You say that the universes are changing or aligning, combining, whatever you call it, and yeah, you're a nut job basically. So yeah, about me personally, I've always been very in tune with my body. So I'm allergic to, so I have to buy wheat-free products, which I only know that through testing, and I have seen a significant difference since that. When I had hair, you can see it's not really there anymore. I had to have some hair follicles sent off. Actually, I did it in a Chinese medical place, so I did that off my own back. Yeah, so caffeine and wheat were two of my biggest allergies. There are other little things in there like dust and whatnot. Probably irrelevant, but I've always been very in tune with my body in that sense. I feel like if something's good for me or bad for me, I just feel. I mean, I try to eat clean as well. I don't eat things like McDonald's. I don't drink Coke and Pepsi and stuff like that. I try to eat as clean as possible. I do love chocolate. That's a bit of a weakness of mine. I can hear different frequencies and pitch, so maybe this is because I'm into music, songwriting, singing and whatnot, but I'm very, very affected by noises. So I've lived in probably over 25 different places now, and about at least 3 or 4 of those I've had to move due to noise, whether it's hearing airplanes in the sky, street noise or whatnot. I'm very, very affected by noises. I almost feel like it attacks my senses, so to speak. It sounds ridiculous, but I honestly feel like even if I hear a motorbike go past and it revs its engine, it feels like it's attacking me. Really ridiculous to say, I know. So someone wrote on here that they are a vegetarian. I did try that for about 4 days, failed, but it's something I'm always talking about, that I feel instinctively that I should be eating less meat. Now, I do eat fish, I do eat chickpeas and beans and lentils and things like that as well, but I know that I should eat less meat as well. You can't see it in this video, but I'm quite a big boy. Like I go to the gym, I'm 6'3", and I always think, oh, I need the protein and what have you, but you can get protein from chickpeas and other sources, kale and what have you. Again, that could be another video if you want to hear anything about sort of what you should and shouldn't eat and what have you. Not an expert on it, but I know a little bit. So with my religious beliefs, I'm agnostic. For those of you that don't know what that means, so it's that I don't necessarily believe in a God, but I don't disbelieve in a God either. I definitely feel that there is something bigger out there, an entity bigger than myself, as in a higher power. I'm a very, very deep thinker, especially when it comes to this. I think of different things all the time, like life theories. Are we living in a simulation, like The Sims? Is that plausible? Could we be kind of a sim within a sim? Those kind of things. They're just thoughts I have. Don't know if other people have those sort of thoughts. But then again, I also think that things are almost so perfect in some aspects on Earth. When I look at how complex the human body is, for example, I just think it has to be a design. It's almost as if someone has created us. But then again, who's to say it's not an alien? If they exist, who's to say it's not an alien that we are effectively in like a snow globe? When it snows outside, they're shaking the snow globe. Who's to say? I mean, I definitely don't believe in evolution, by the way. Yeah, that doesn't wash with me at all. Microevolution, yes, but the theory of evolution and how we got here, the Big Bang Theory, does not make sense to me. The fact that a comet or meteor came to Earth, where did the force come from for that? Where did the comet come from? Where did the Earth come from? They were all there first. So to say it was a bang that just created us, and then 1 minute, it's just rubbish. again with the was it the Neanderthals and whatnot, where they've gone basically from a chimp, the Darwinian scale, I believe it's called. Where is the in between, the half ape, half man? Why don't you have that with any other species? There's just so much that doesn't wash with it, and don't get me started on that. But yeah, definitely don't believe in evolution. So with regards to that, again, as you maybe have been able to tell with what I've just been saying, I'm very, very open-minded to hearing theories, beliefs. I'll never disbelieve anything. If someone said they saw a banana with legs walking down the street, I can't just say, "Oh, no, you didn't," because I don't know if they have. They maybe have, maybe they didn't. But I'll always have an open mind with what people tell me. I once was speaking to a girl at work who was from Somalia, and she was saying that when she was in her homeland of Somalia, she said she saw some pirates catch a mermaid, and she said she saw it as clear as day, screaming, and then they let it back into the water. I always use this as my example for this, because for me that's quite extreme to say a mermaid exists, but then you've got myths. 2/3 of the planet is made of water. Who's to say it didn't happen? I mean, we know hardly anything about the ocean. We're discovering new species of shark and fish all the time. So yeah, sorry, that's my phone going off. Yeah, I mean, there's this shark called a cookie cutter shark that literally swims up behind a bigger shark, takes a chunk out of it, and then nips off. And it's only been caught on camera a few times doing this. Scientists know hardly anything about this cookie cutter shark, as they call it. Who's to say there isn't a mermaid out there? Who's to say there isn't a Bigfoot out there or a Yeti? I mean, there's enough sightings for it. But anyway, I'm going off on a bit of a tangent there. So yeah, I feel like I'm a very spiritual person. I feel that everyone is connected in one form or another, and everything is connected. I even think every animal is connected to us, and I think that energy governs what goes on the planet, what good and bad, and I think your thoughts do become reality to a certain degree. Yeah, so again, I think if you think healthy thoughts, if your mindset is healthy, you'll physically reap the rewards from that as well. I do feel like so I believe in reincarnation, and I do feel like like I was a king or something in a past life. Make of that what you will, but yeah, I feel like I was in a position of power, and I've almost been. So I'm not well off at all in this life. I don't think that's my path at all. I think my path is a truth path. Again, looking into numerology and things like that, it was a life path of a 7, if that means anything to anyone else on here. Actually, that's a good point I didn't write down. So yeah, my numerological path is a 7, which is a spiritual path. I know it's a lot more deeper than that for different numbers and whatnot, but the general gist of it was that. So again, if that resonates with anyone. So with regards to TV, it's something that I've never... Actually, I tell a lie. I used to love the TV. I used to watch things like X-Men, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, The Simpsons, stuff like that, Family Guy occasionally. But for probably about the past year now, I made a somewhat conscious decision to not really watch TV, which is annoying because in England, you still have to pay a TV license that basically you have to pay for the BBC, which is like £130 or something a year, which annoys me because all I watch is Match of the Day, which is a football or a soccer program. That's pretty much the main program I watch. Again, that's irrelevant. So I actually left high school or secondary school early, very early in fact. And I hated it. I hated the way I was being taught. I was always, in my reports, it was saying I was always blaming the teachers, saying that they're wrong. Yeah, and I was always asking why as well, in primary school and secondary school. So, I can't remember what it's called in America, but basically the first school and the second school, I was always asking why. And I'd get very frustrated if a teacher couldn't explain something to me, because I always feel like if you are teaching or preaching about a subject, you should be able to explain it in layman's terms for someone that maybe doesn't know anything about that subject. So if I'm not saying I'm an expert in quantum physics or CERN or the Mandela effect or anything like that, but I've dedicated a fair amount of hours to know roughly what this is all about. So yeah, I would be happy to. Well, actually, I say that I can't really explain it to people, because even when I do, it's such a complex subject that, because I'm not a leading authority on it, I find it very hard to explain to people. Right? I think in my head I'm doing a good job, but then they just, yeah, you get the picture, right? So I can't even read my own writing now. So with regards to, again, this was a point that someone made on YouTube here. So scripture, as in sort of biblical scripture. Now, for any Christians that are watching this, I've got nothing. As I say, I'm agnostic. I don't disbelieve in God. I don't believe in God. I feel that instinctively when I was being taught scripture from a young age, or even hearing segments or reading segments for myself, something feels off in there. I can't put my finger on it. I felt like it was very degrading for women in certain parts. Don't ask me to quote any chapters or verses or anything like that. I'm not a leading authority on that as well. I can't just pluck out chapters and verses and whatnot. But at the same time, I do believe that there is maybe a creator, an architect, as I say, a higher power. Whether the book has been manipulated over time, I don't know. But I feel like religion in general, to me personally, does seem like a very good form of control. There are good aspects to it. There are bad aspects, and this is other religions that I've looked into as well. And I often think that that's why my beliefs are almost an amalgamation of different religious or spiritual beliefs, but they're just kind of my own beliefs. I wouldn't say that I'm this, that, or the other. I just have my own beliefs of this planet. As I say, I believe in reincarnation. I believe in ghosts. I've seen ghosts, so I know they're real. Yeah, I mean, reincarnation has probably been like blasphemous or going against the religion or not, but I just instinctively feel that's right. But I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm, is it Buddhism? Do they believe in that? Or is it Hinduism? Again, I can't quote it. There are other religions that believe in that, but I'm not set to one religion, so to speak. So I have kind of had, so I'm quite a light sleeper, and I've often had, I don't want to say premonitions. I mean, they are premonitions, but they're never anything like major subjects like predicted 9/11 or anything like that. It's never of that magnitude, but I'll often have dreams or something will pop into my head, and I'll see that exact thing somewhere in the line, and then maybe that's the phenomenon known as deja vu. Who knows what it is, but weird things like that happen to me. Or there was a very strange incident that happened to me recently where someone popped into my head when I was in the shower, who I hadn't thought about in a very long time. But it was a real strong image. I'm not going to sort of go into detail here. I guess when you're in a relaxed situation like a shower, I just sort of zone out and I try not to think of anything. But that seems to be when the thoughts come. So I was picturing this person in the dream, and then I left the house maybe 30 minutes after I'd showered, and still had this image in my head, and it was such a strong, powerful image. Again, I'm not going to divulge what it was, but then I had a message from one of my friends saying that person was dead, which was this wasn't even that long ago. This was probably 2-3 months ago from here. So yeah, the seeing ghosts thing, that happened more when I was younger. Doesn't really happen now. And I've always believed there is a purpose to this life. Again, that's kind of my life spiritual philosophy, I guess, if you call it that. I do believe that I'm meant to be doing something more than what I am doing. And funnily enough, so I've had this YouTube account for maybe a month and a half, something like that. I feel like it's something to do with this Mandela effect. Maybe it almost feels like maybe I'm not an integral part of whatever's going on this planet, but I do feel like I'm a cog in a machine. Whether it's, as I say, me saying one thing, even in this video, if I say one thing that resonates with someone else out there, one person, to me, that's me fulfilling my purpose now. Sounds ridiculous, but that's honestly how I feel. Yeah, as I say, I've said it in other videos. I don't want to sort of repeat myself all the time, but I feel that that's kind of the reason why I'm making this video, is because other people have commented on my previous video that I made earlier and have said, look, let's gather the similarities. So as I say, please do let me know in the comment page below if anything I've said resonates with you. If you want to hear anything more, or yeah. And someone's put about being bald on the side. I'm just reading the comments at the same time as making this video. Yeah, I'm not sure if being bald has got anything to do with this Mandela effect, because it has affected more people than just bald people. But having said that, when I started to go bald, so you can kind of see it in the video there, I did actually feel, and I usually shave my head, actually this is quite a bit of growth, but I do feel almost that it heightens whatever this, not the Mandela effect connection, but just I feel more connected to frequencies, spirituality, energy, whatever it is. When my head is shaved, I almost feel more open to it. It's quite funny because when I went to Thailand and Cambodia before, and you see the monks there with their bald heads, and from my understanding, they have those bald heads to, I guess, make them more connected, from my understanding, which makes complete sense. It's like if you're a copper cable, for example, you know, the sort of the copper coloured cable, if you're gonna, I don't know, wire something up, a light or what have you, the more exposed that cable is, the more of a connection you're going to get with it. Whereas if it's got a sheath over it, or if it's a broken connection, maybe the power won't pass through as well. Okay, I'm waffling a bit too much now, guys. This is the longest video I've probably ever made in my life. Please comment below, like, subscribe, all that. The more people that subscribe, the more I'll continue to do these videos. I'll try and make them better. I'll try not to waffle as much. I know I've said that before. But yeah, do let me know if anything I've said resonates with you. It's a long video. Thanks for sitting through it, guys. But yeah, please subscribe, like, comment, all the usual YouTube things. Cheers, guys. Bye.